Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm 24 and I work with Grant Thornton UK in the Tech Risk Department. I went to Loughborough University and I did computer science, and I graduated and went straight into Grant Thornton to work. I would say there's no defined answer to that question. You go into a company and you solve the problems that they may have. The most important thing, I think, is that you add value in whatever you do. It might sound a bit cliche, but consulting doesn't have any typical day. You can be doing client work or meeting with the client on one day. You can be in the office or working from home, writing up what you found with the client the next day. It all depends on the engagement that you're on. I'd say the hardest case that I've ever been on is I went into an engagement with very little experience in what we were doing. And the way that I solved it is by working with my team members, working with my manager and the other associates that I was working with, learning from them and asking for help when I needed it. Eventually we did get through the engagement and we delivered some really high quality work, and I learned a lot about the topic which we were working on from that point onwards. I'd say it's rare in consultancy where you get a really smooth start to finish without any bumps in the road. You do get curveballs and you do get fluctuations in the job that you're doing on the engagement with the client, and the way to go about it and solve them is to work with your team and work with the client, get the new information which you need, and then apply that to the case that you're working on. The thing about consultancy, and you'll find lots of companies saying this, is it's a really diverse environment. They really do mean it. There's different backgrounds, different qualifications, different personal attributes in everyone, and they want a mix of different people to provide new insights. I did computer science, but I won't have the insight that someone who did economics might, for instance, on very, very particular aspects of economics. So when you come together in a team, you really do add that value together. In terms of what qualifications you need, a university degree is typical for most consulting jobs, but there are a lot of school leaver roles that are opening up all the time. More and more firms are looking at school leavers fresh out of school to do apprenticeships and go straight into consulting. So for personal skills, I'd say there's some core skills that everyone needs. You need confidence, because it's very highly client-based. A willingness to learn, because you're always learning on this job. And some determination, I would say, is definitely key. You need to want to work to get the job done. Sometimes you've got to put in the work, you've got to put in the hours. You really want to get to the root of the problem which you're trying to solve, but it's worth it at the end when you do deliver that good engagement. I'd say the hours really do vary depending on the engagement you're on. Typically it can be around 40 hours a week, upwards of 50s, sometimes into the 60s and 70s if you need to put that time in. But there are times where you've got some downtime and it does drop down to the 30-hour week zone. It entirely depends on the work that you're doing, which is nice because when you do get that downtime, it's welcome, but sometimes you do want to get engaged and you do want to put in a bit more time. I'd say there's two big problems that a consultant might have to solve. One is that they're actually on engagement which they may not be too familiar with. Getting up to speed with the information, with the new industry, that's a challenge. Some people enjoy it, it's really refreshing. I personally like having to learn something new. I think it can be a big problem sometimes when you're not too familiar with it at all and you don't have that long to get knowledgeable in the area. I'd say secondly that culture changes are a big problem in consultancy. Telling someone that they have to change the way they work or the way that they approach something, it's not an easy thing to do, so you have to handle that tactfully and approach it from the right angle, and that can be a challenge sometimes.
Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like it, leave a comment in the comment section, and hit the bell icon to keep up with all things strength from within. Thanks for watching.